Have you ever looked at a painting and felt a sense of wonder? Maybe it reminded you of a happy memory, or perhaps it sparked your curiosity about a different culture. Art has a way of speaking to us, even without words. It's a universal language that transcends time and place. From ancient cave paintings to modern sculptures, art allows people to express themselves and share their unique perspectives with the world. No matter where you go, you'll find art in different forms. It might be a colorful mural on a building, a beautifully crafted piece of pottery, or even a carefully arranged garden. Each piece of art tells a story, and by understanding the basic elements and principles that artists use, we can better appreciate and connect with these stories. Just like learning a new language opens up a world of communication, learning about art opens up a world of visual understanding. So, let's grab our brushes and explore the wonderful world of art together. Just like a house is built with bricks, wood, and glass, art is created using basic building blocks called elements. These elements are the foundation of any artwork, whether it's a painting, sculpture, or even a piece of digital art. The main elements of art are color, form, line, shape, space, and texture. Each element plays a crucial role in how we perceive and interpret art. By understanding these elements, we can start to break down the complexity of an artwork and appreciate the choices artists make in their creative process. Think of it like baking a cake. You need flour, sugar, eggs, and butter to make a delicious treat. Similarly, artists use elements like color and line to create visually appealing and meaningful artworks. Color is perhaps the most expressive element of art. It has the power to evoke strong emotions, set the mood of an artwork, and even influence our perceptions of space and depth. Think about how the color red makes you feel. Does it remind you of love, anger, or excitement? Artists use color in countless ways. They might use bright, vibrant colors to create a sense of joy and celebration, or they might use cool, muted colors to evoke feelings of peace and tranquility. Color can also be used symbolically. For example, in many cultures, the color white represents purity and innocence, while black is often associated with death and mourning. Form, line, and shape work together to create the structure and composition of an artwork. These elements define the boundaries of objects, create the illusion of depth, and guide our eyes through the artwork. A line is a mark made by a pointed tool like a pencil or brush. Lines can be straight or curved, thick or thin, and they can be used to create a variety of effects. For example, horizontal lines often suggest calmness and stability, while diagonal lines can create a sense of movement and energy. Shapes are two-dimensional areas defined by lines or changes in color. They can be geometric, like squares and circles, or organic, like the shape of a leaf or a cloud. Forms are three-dimensional shapes that have volume and mass. So, let's talk about space and texture. These are both really important for adding depth and feeling to a work of art. Now, space refers to the area within and around objects in an artwork. Artists actually use various techniques to create the illusion of depth and distance, even though they're working on a flat surface. For example, they might use overlapping, which is when one object partially covers another, making it seem closer to the viewer. Texture, on the other hand, is all about the surface quality of an object, like whether it feels rough or smooth. It can be real, such as the texture of a woven tapestry, or it can be implied, like when an artist uses brushstrokes to create the illusion of fur on an animal. Texture really adds another layer of sensory experience to art, and it kind of invites us to imagine how an object might feel to the touch. Now that we've covered the basic elements of art, let's move on to the principles of art. These are the guidelines that artists use to arrange the elements in a way that is visually pleasing and impactful. Think of the principles of art as the rules of a game. Just like knowing the rules of basketball helps you play a better game, understanding the principles of art helps artists create stronger and more effective artworks. Some of the main principles of art include balance, contrast, emphasis, rhythm and movement, proportion and scale, unity and variety, and pattern. Balance refers to the distribution of visual weight in an artwork. It creates a sense of stability and harmony. There are three main types of balance: symmetrical, asymmetrical, and radial. Contrast is the difference between elements in an artwork. It creates visual interest and excitement. Artists use contrast in various ways, such as contrasting colors, shapes, or textures. For example, a painting with a bright yellow object against a dark blue background will have strong contrast. Rhythm and movement refer to the way our eyes move through an artwork. Artists use repetition of elements like lines or shapes to create a sense of rhythm. Movement can be implied, for example, by the direction a figure is looking or the way objects are positioned. Emphasis is used to draw attention to a specific area in an artwork. Artists can create emphasis through size, color, contrast, or placement. For example, a bright red apple in a bowl of green apples will immediately draw our attention. Proportion and scale refer to the size relationships between objects in an artwork. They help create a sense of realism and depth. Artists might use exaggerated proportions to create a specific effect, like making a figure appear larger than life to convey power. The materials artists use have a huge impact on the look and feel of their art. Over time, artists have experimented with a vast array of materials, from natural pigments and clay to modern acrylics and digital tools. Early artists used materials readily available in their environment. Cave paintings, for example, were created using natural pigments made from crushed rocks, charcoal, and even animal blood. As technology advanced, so did the materials available to artists. The invention of oil paints in the 15th century allowed for greater detail and luminosity in paintings. Today, artists have access to an ever-expanding range of materials, including digital tools that allow for endless creative possibilities. From traditional mediums like charcoal and watercolor to cutting-edge digital software, the choice of materials continues to shape and define the art of our time. By understanding the basic elements and principles of art, we can begin to unlock the secrets behind these masterpieces and appreciate the creativity and skill of artists from all over the world. So, the next time you encounter a piece of art, take a closer look. What elements do you see? How do they work together? What message do you think the artist is trying to convey? You might be surprised by what you discover.